Hey good people, this is Ahmed Minaw from MinawaTube, and today we're going to talk about budgets. Yes, this is the topic that a lot of people ask me about. A lot of people want to know what is the budget now in 2021 in Thailand. If you're coming to Thailand to work or to live here, what kind of budget should you put in your head? Like how are you going to divide that budget and what are you going to spend it on? So in this video we're going to go in too much detail. So we're going to talk about different ranges of income and how can you actually make a very good budget so you can survive till the end of the month with those incomes. So let's start the video. So first of all, before getting into details about the budgets in this video, let's talk about what kind of income I'm talking about here in this video. So there's a lot of income that you can get here in Thailand, from very low to very high, and I'm going to talk about three ranges. I'm going to talk about if you're getting between 20,000 and 35,000 baht a month, or if you're getting between 36,000 and 50,000 baht a month, or if you're getting between 51,000 and 70,000 baht a month. I'm not going to talk about less than that or more than that. More than that, you don't really need a budget if you're a single person. If you have a family, yeah, that's a different case. But if you're a single person and you're getting more than 70,000 baht a month, you don't have to worry. You're gonna be okay. But if you're getting less than 20,000 baht a month, please don't take that job, especially if it's in one of the major cities like Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Chonburi. It's gonna be very hard for you to make a budget whatsoever. So that happened to me personally. When I first came to Thailand, I was scammed and I went into a contract where they actually paid me 18,000 baht, and it was very hard for me to complete actually even like 20 days out of the month with that money. So it's very hard, guys. So be very careful when you're getting a job here in Thailand. At least you have to have a good income, and of course it also depends on where are you living. Let's say if you're living in Bangkok, the higher the better your income. If you're living in Chiang Mai, the higher the better. So the big cities you have to have a higher income. If you're in small cities, even 20,000 would do, or even 18,000 if you're very good at being strict on your budget. So yeah, that's it. And also when I'm talking about this budget today, I'm gonna concentrate on you having at least 10% of your monthly income saved by the end of the month. Let's say for example, like if you're getting 20,000 baht, I would like actually explain the budget in a way that you have 2,000 baht by the last day of the month before getting your next salary. Or if you're getting 35,000, at least 3,000 baht or 3,500 still in your bank account from your last salary. So that's always safe. You don't know what can happen. So always you have to, when you make your budget, you have to have at least 10% of that income of that monthly salary still safe before getting the next salary. So let's continue now and let's talk exactly about the details of this budget. So first of all, let's talk about rent. So when you come to Thailand, of course, you're going to get a place to rent. You're not going to stay in a hotel or a hostel for all the time that you're here. You're going to try to get a place to rent. And of course, the price range is so wide. You can get as low as $200, $250 per month, which is around 6,000 to 7,000 baht a month you can pay for rent. Or you can go as high as paying us like 15,000, 20,000, 25,000 baht a month for rent. So it depends on what is your budget and what is your income, and if you're willing to pay that much for that. So first of all, I would actually remove out of let's say the budget if you're gonna stay with other people. Let's say you're gonna share an apartment or something like that. I'm not gonna talk about this in the budget because most people won't really share here in Thailand. So if you have some friends or if you got to know some people and you want to share with them the rent and you stay each one in different room and stuff like that, that's not gonna be very easy to happen. And if you actually get that kind of deal, like somebody says, okay, come and you pay half of the rent or half of my rent, it's not a very good idea when you just come to Thailand to share with other people, because people here are kind of different. Even if they're from your country, people change when they come to Thailand. Some people actually are taken by the shock of the culture and everything, and they kind of change. So you're not going to be exactly maybe having your same ideals or your same opinions. So sharing in the beginning is not a very good idea. So try to get your own place. That's going to be very good and more let's say easier for you to get used to the culture, get used to everything here in this country easily. So yeah, let's move that out of the case. So first of all, let's talk about the people who are getting a range of salary between 20,000 and 35,000. So here your budget should be not more than $250 to $300 for rent. So that kind of range is not very easy to get in Sukhumvit. A lot of people already took over those condos, took over those places in Sukhumvit where the rent is that low. So maybe you will have to go to the outskirts. Going to the outskirts maybe mean like you can go to let's say Rangsit area. The Rangsit area is a very good area for you to get a place to stay because there is two major universities there, Rangsit University and Bangkok University, and there's a lot of students who go and live there near those universities. So there's a lot of deals. There's condos, there's other kind of houses like ground houses, and they're very low and cheap because they're actually renting them to students. So you will get as low as 3,500 baht, which is around $120, and this is for those like traditional Thai kind of houses where you have a parking and maybe you have two rooms inside. So that one is actually more towards the student, more towards Thai people. But you can actually, if you like it and you're okay with the kind of old school, kind of old let's say design, it's totally fine. And also you can get condos. You can get condos at $250 in Rangsit area, and very beautiful condos. You will have a gym, maybe swimming pool, not very sure, but gym you will have definitely. You have a parking space for your motorbike or car. So that's gonna be very good if you're on the low end. If you're on the middle range between 36,000 and 50,000 baht, you will actually be able there to stay in the city center in Sukhumvit. You can get one bedroom condo in Sukhumvit, maybe Nana area, Prompong or Ikamai area. You will get one bedroom and it's gonna cost you 350 to 400 baht, sorry, $350 to $400, which is around you can say 13,000 or between 10 and 13,000 baht. That's where you're actually gonna get a very good place with one bedroom, kitchen, not a full kitchen, of course, half a kitchen, very nice, clean bathroom, clean area, kind of quiet, with a gym and a swimming pool. So that is a very good budget for the ones who are getting in the middle range between 36,000 and 50,000 baht. If you're getting on the higher range between 51,000 and 70,000 baht, you will get an amazing condo in the city center in Sukhumvit area in Bangkok. So that means that you're gonna get like a 2-bedroom, a full kitchen, living room. You can invite people over and you won't be ashamed that there is no space whatsoever. Everybody is looking at everyone, whatever they're doing. There's gonna be a lot of space. You will have maybe a very nice garden. You will have a huge swimming pool and a full equipped gym and a very good parking space and security all the time. So that is gonna be very good if you're on the high end in Sukhumvit. In other areas like Chonburi, Chiang Mai, it's almost the same thing. So if you're in the center of these cities of Chonburi and Chiang Mai, you will actually pay the same, almost the same budget, okay, for your apartment. It's less than Bangkok, but not very different. So the farther you go from the center, the cheaper it will be, and it will be best for the lower end budget. But if you're in the middle budget or you're in the higher budget, you're gonna have less of a headache when you want to get a good place. And another thing that it will also affect where you stay, where you rent. Now you have to think about it very well. Where you work and where you are renting your place, are they close? If they're not close, you have to think about transport. And if you're in the Rangsit area, you're gonna rely a lot on buses and motorbikes. But if you're in Sukhumvit area, let's say you're getting the middle range income near Sukhumvit area, things are kind of more, you have more options. You have BDS, you have the buses, you have motorbike, you have all the options almost if you're in the city center. So see what is cheaper for you. If you're very far, if you're in Rangsit area and you're very far from where you're working, you rather actually pay some extra money and stay in the city center, so you can actually save money on transport. Transport is very cheap when it's buses only, but when you include in it taxis, motorbikes and BDS, that is gonna actually cost you a lot, maybe almost 200 baht a day when you're moving from work to home and home to work. Yeah, so that's it. So let's go now to the next part. So the next part we're going to talk about now is electricity bill and water bills. So it's of course very different from a person to another. Water bill is not a problem because it's always going to be in the range of 30 to, let's say, max is going to be 80 baht, okay? So it's not going to be a huge problem. But electricity is where it's a little bit tricky. It's not as cheap as a lot of people think. It's cheaper than many Western countries, but it's not as cheap as many people think. Many Western countries actually are cheaper when it comes to electricity compared to Thailand. The thing is, like, when you come to Thailand, especially if you're from a Western country, or let's say if you're from a country that you're not used to heat or you're not used to humid, you're gonna be keeping the AC on all the time. And if you have two ACs in one place, let's say for example, if you're living in the city center and you're in the middle range income and you get those nice condos where you have two ACs, one in the bedroom, one in the living room, you're gonna keep them both on at all times. So when you just come to Thailand, you're not used of the weather. So yeah, that is actually gonna cost you a lot. So when it comes to electricity bill, you have to put in your head that the budget is going to be minimum 800 baht and it can go as high as 3000 baht, but you can say the average is going to be 1800 baht to 2000 baht per month when it comes to electricity. But if you're very used to this weather you'll have a problem with it. If you're used to downgrade to use a fan or not to cook at home on the electric stove, you just get whatever you want from outside, your budget for electricity is gonna go very, very low. You can pay 1000 to 900 baht a month and you'll be totally fine. So that's when it comes to electricity. But one very important thing when it comes to electricity bills, please guys, try your best to make sure that you're getting a receipt from the government when it comes to electricity. So when you get this receipt from the government, you can go and pay, whether you want to pay 7-Eleven or you want to pay the PEA, the organization which is responsible for electricity here in Thailand. Better when you pay it on your own. But if the place you're renting says, no, I'm gonna give you the electricity receipt for me and I'm gonna give you the bill and you pay me directly, you might be in trouble there, because you might get actually scammed a bit, because sometimes they might either add, like, let's say a little bit of money on top of it and then make for you the receipt. Sometimes even they can double it. Let's say your electricity bill is maybe 1000 baht and they will give you a receipt written on it 2000 baht. It doesn't look like the electricity. I'm going to put it up here and you'll know exactly how that receipt looks like. So try your best when you're getting the apartment. Tell them that I want to pay my own electricity and I want to pay my own water on my own. Water is a little bit easier, like even if they want to pay it, or they want you to pay them directly about water, it's a little bit easier because it can't go so high. But electricity is the one which is tricky, and that's where they make a lot of money. Some of landlords who are actually tricky, they make a lot of money by just multiplying it, and you can't do anything about it. When they give you that receipt and you accept the contract, you accept that they are going to give you the receipt for the electricity, so you might suffer from that. So let's go to the next point is food. Food is not a problem in Thailand whatsoever. You can get food easily, like you can get, whether you like fast food, which is mostly like kind of American kind of fast food, or you want kind of Thai food, or you want, let's say, another kind of let's say exotic kind of food like Indian, Turkish or something like that. You will get everything you want in the big cities like Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Chonburi. You will get, even in the small cities, you will get something different somehow. But generally, like, it's not a problem. It's not very expensive unless you're a kind of person who always want to do fine dining and always wants to eat kind of different food, like exotic, let's say Indian, Japanese, Turkish, Italian. So of course you're gonna pay a lot of money for that because it's kind of expensive. But if you're somebody who is totally okay with Thai food, like many Westerners are okay with Thai food because it's different from like their daily kind of food, so they're okay with it. But let's say, for example, Africans and Arabs, they're not very okay with Thai food all the time. They would like to taste it from time to time, but not all the time. It's very, very different from their regular cuisine. So they'll either like try to cook by themselves, or they'll go to their own restaurants and maybe pay a lot of money for that. But generally, your budget shouldn't be more than 500 baht, which is around less than $200. Okay. So sorry, I'm sorry about that. It's less than $20. Less than $20. It's not gonna be a lot, you know. Like per day, you can have the 3 meals for 500 baht to $20. So it's totally fine. So that's when it comes to food. When it comes to entertaining yourself, you can't be working all the time. Come on, it's Thailand. You need to go out and enjoy yourself. So going to cinema won't cost you a lot of money. Also, the minimum ticket will be 150 baht, and the maximum ticket can go up to 1000 baht. But not because the movie is wow and like you have to pay a lot of money. No, it's just that it depends on what kind of luxury do you want. Let's say some cinemas provide some kind of luxury, like those VIP seats, those kind of bed seats or stuff like that, and it's of course more more expensive. But if you're going just regularly, going to a normal, go to a cinema and just want the normal seats, the standard seats, you're gonna pay 150 baht to 250 baht, 300 baht max if it's like the latest movie, like the movie that just came out and it's very popular and a lot of people want to watch it. So yeah, it's not gonna be very expensive. Every weekend you can go to the cinema a couple of times and it's gonna be fine. You're gonna spend a lot of money. It's gonna be like what, $10, $20 maximum before for every time you go and watch movie. So I told you guys about going to the cinema, but if you're not into cinema movies, there's other things you can do. You can just go to the zoo, you can go to like an aqua park, something like that, and it won't cost you also a lot. Let's say every weekend you can pay, let's say for the ticket for entering, always it's not gonna go more than 600, 700 baht for enter to such places, and you can spend your whole day there. Parks are free. You can go to the public parks, do some exercise or just walk around. It's very nice. The parks here are very beautiful, and that's totally free. You just have to transport, go to Lumpini Park or go to any other kind of park, and that's also the same in all other major cities. You'll have cinemas and you'll have other places where you can actually not pay any money whatsoever. So if you're on the low budget, that's great for you. You're in a country, let's say compared to Dubai, where kind of you can't do anything if you don't have money. Thailand, at least, if you don't have money, you just only need the transport money and you can enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend. So yeah, that's great. So let's go to the next point and the final point, nightlife and the weekend. So finally here in the last point, we're talking about the nightlife and the weekends and how can you make a budget when it comes to the nightlife. Honestly, it's very hard to make a budget when it comes to nightlife in general, because you don't know how much you're spending, you don't know where exactly you're going. If you're going with your friends, you don't know how much you're gonna spend, and you have your, let's say, debit card or something like that, and you just keep on spending and spending, and it's actually very hard to make a budget if you're into nightlife. Okay, so you will actually maybe make a budget of 1,000 to 1,500 for each night you spend outside. But it's actually very hard for you to always spend that much. You might go to a fancier place, maybe you might go to a regular place, but you actually buy for many other people, if you know what I'm saying, and if you know what I mean, I guess. And yeah, you would actually maybe spend more, like 5,000, even sometimes 10,000 baht, which is a lot of money, $300 in one night. So yeah, that's crazy. So guys, just when it comes to nightlife, if you're on the low budget, just try your best to get whatever you need from 7-Eleven and just go and have fun at home with your friends who are actually having the same budget like you, and it'll be totally fine to stay at home and just getting from 7-Eleven what they need. Maybe to cost them like every weekend 500 baht to have a good time. But if you're on the middle budget, you also have to be a little bit careful. Spending like 5,000, 10,000 baht in one weekend is very bad for your income. You're getting 36 or to like 50,000 baht. That's a lot of money in one weekend. But if you're on the higher end, it's you're kind of safe a little bit. But higher than that, you don't need to think about it. You can just enjoy whatever you want to enjoy. That's it. So generally, that is my opinion from staying in Thailand for a while now on the budget. So if you have any questions, please write your questions in the comment down below. If you have any comments, of course, put it also in the comment down below. And please guys, subscribe to the channel. I need more subscribers, and like the video if it was useful for you. Thank you very much for watching.